Hey there tech fans, Rick here again from the OREI team. In today's video, I'd like to show you how you can use the new ToVi X4 system to create a giant video wall at one location for viewing media content from a second remote location up to 100 meters away over a single network connection. The new ToVi system from OREI was engineered to make it incredibly easy for you to create a flexible and expandable AV over IP solution for sharing your media content with multiple remote locations at the same time over a wide network. The product is fully software defined, which means you can create multiple relationships on that same network at the same time. For example, today I'll show you how to create a video wall controller using 4 receivers, but you can also use the transmitters and receivers to create an HDMI extension relationship, an HDMI splitter, an HDMI switch, an HDMI matrix, or a video wall controller, again at the same time with a few clicks of your mouse. The product fully supports 4K ultra high definition media content and is both HDMI 2.0B as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant, which means it's plug and play compatible with a wide range of modern media equipment. It also employs the very latest in power over Ethernet technology, which means once you plug these modules into a PoE compatible switch, all the power required for each of the modules is sent over that same network connection, which greatly simplifies your wiring. Now, to set up a video wall controller relationship, you'll need a single transmitter and a minimum of 4 receivers, the network control hub, and a compatible PoE switch. The transmitter connects to whatever media device you'd like to share the content from with your video wall, and the 4 receivers connect to individual monitors at that location that have been organized into a giant display. Now, you can certainly increase the size of the display by adding additional receivers, but for today's example, I'd like to create a 2x2 grid just to show you how the system works. It's incredibly easy to use, and if you stay tuned next, I'll walk you through the software and explain how you create the relationship and how you can display the media content on that video wall, and then I'll come back and do a short demonstration to show you just how simple this product will be to use with your own equipment. You can easily create a large video wall using the new ToVi system, and to do this, you'll start with a single transmitter module and a minimum of 4 receiver modules. The transmitter module connects to whatever media device you'd like to display the output from on your video wall, and the receiver modules each connect to individual monitors that have been organized into a 2x2 grid to create that large display. Now, you can certainly add additional receiver modules to increase the size of that display even further, but for this example, I like to keep it simple with a 2x2 grid. So the first thing you'll want to do is connect the transmitter module, the 4 receiver modules, and your network control hub to the PoE switch using a standard Cat6 or Cat7 cable, and then power everything up. And now you can open a browser on any computer connected to that same network and simply navigate to IP address 169.254.8.100, and you'll be greeted by the GUI login screen. You can enter your credentials here and click the login button. Now, the first screen you'll see asks you if you'd like to start a wizard, because this system doesn't know what modules are connected to the network yet because it's brand new. So you can start this wizard, which will crawl the network and identify those modules by simply clicking the next button right there. But I'd like to show you a little more manual way to do it. So I'll close out the wizard and confirm that I don't want to use it, and that'll take me to the main screen of the GUI. Now, along the left-hand side, you'll find various tabs that include Device, Matrix, Video Wall, and User. And on this device page, you'll notice at the top that there are 0 encoders and 0 decoders. And again, because we haven't scanned the network control box has no idea exactly what's out there. So the first thing we'll do here is scan the network, and about midway down the page, you'll find a button that's labeled Search Device via Wizard. Now, when I click that, it starts the same process that the original wizard on that first screen would start, but I wanted to show you how to do it from here. So I'll click that button, and it presents me with 3 choices. I can automatically manage anything found on the network by the control box, which is easy. I can use DHCP mode if I choose to do that, or I can assign a static IP to each of the modules to manage them. I'm going to use the automatically managed by controller box option, and I'll click next. Now that control box starts scanning the network. It's crawling the IP addresses, and it's looking for anything that responds to a ToVi command. It's looking for transmitters and encoders, receivers and decoders. Anything it finds out there, it's going to log, And when this finishes, it's going to come back and present all the modules it found and ask me if I'd like to add those to the system. It's also going to look for the IP addresses and any other identifying information for each of those modules and present that as well. And this takes 15 or 20 seconds to finish. And there we go. So we're ready at this point to add anything it found to the system, and I have two choices. I can automatically add the encoders and decoders that were discovered, or I can just list them. Well, I'd like to add them, so I'll click Next. And then it asks me again, are you sure? Do you want to stop searching and just list them, or stop searching and add them? I'd like to add them, so I'll click that button. Now watch these two tabs up here. You'll watch the encoder tab will go up by 1, and the decoder tab went up by 4. So it found 1 transmitter and 4 receivers. And look how it's filling in the details, because now that it identified them and I said add them to the system, it's actually interrogating them a little bit more. It's handshaking with them to get all the details of what they can provide, and that way it can make whatever adjustments are needed to give you the best possible picture. Let me go back to the encoder. Now the encoder is the transmitter box that's connected to your media device, so it's the media content you're going to share across the network. And the decoders are connected to your output displays, your monitors, that are currently organized into a 2x2 grid. So now that we see everything there, if I go down to the video wall tab, I can create the video wall. Right now there is no video wall created, so the first thing I'll do here is create one. I'll click create, and it asks me what video wall that'll be. It's our first one, so I'll leave it at 1. I can name it anything I want, so if I have a special configuration, I can call it whatever. I'll leave it as video wall 1. And down here's where you select how many rows and how many columns. And again, I'd mentioned it was a 2x2. So let me create that. And it takes a second for it to organize the monitors in that formation. And then you can see the 4 monitors. Here you go. So right now I'm in a 2x2 configuration, and no decoders are assigned here. Now here's where it gets tricky, because it's really important that you understand which of the decoders is connected to each of the monitors, because that single video stream is being broken into 4 parts that have to align correctly on your video wall. So I'll start with the upper left decoder, and I'll assign that to number 2, upper right to number 1, lower left number 3, and finally lower right number 4. And then I can hit the apply button, and what that does is it takes that video stream, again, breaks it into 4 parts, and puts those 4 parts on each of those monitors correctly to create a gigantic video wall. And what that's doing is taking your media content from the transmitter and again displaying it on the video wall you've created with these 4 receivers. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to set up a gigantic video wall relationship using the new ToVi system. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up a small media player that's currently looping a video on this monitor, and that's the media content I'd like to share with my remote location on that giant video wall. I've connected it to a transmitter module, which is connected to the PoE switch, and I'm taking advantage of the local loopback functionality that the transmitters provide, so I can enjoy the content here while I'm simultaneously sharing it with that remote location. Over here I've set up 4 19-inch monitors in a 2x2 configuration to create my video wall. Now you can certainly add additional receivers and make even a bigger display and even use bigger monitors, but for this example I'm using 4 19-inch monitors. I have 4 receivers set up over here. These are also connected to that same PoE switch, and I've connected these to the monitors. Now one thing to keep in mind, when you connect these to your monitors, it's really important that you understand which receiver is connected to which monitor, because when you go into the software in the network control hub, you have to make sure that you've got them connected correctly so that these can break up that image that's heading for that destination into 4 quadrants and display them properly on the monitor. And remember, these can be up to 100 meters apart, and you can set up a video wall on the network at the same time that you're using the ToVi network to create an HDMI extension relationship or even a matrix relationship. So it's a software-defined network that allows you, through the click of a mouse, to change the way the network behaves. Again, to have a giant video wall like this at one location, maybe you're extending the same content to a single monitor at another location. So these are connected to the monitors, this is connected to the media device, and what's really amazing is that the system will convert an HDMI signal from the transmitter side into a network signal, send it across that PoE network, over to the receivers where it's converted back into an HDMI signal for display in these monitors. And what's even better, with a video wall, you actually break that media content into 4 different quadrants, or even more if you have more monitors, and organizes them to create this giant video display. And it really is just that easy to get it working. I hope that overview and demonstration was helpful in showing you just how flexible the brand new ToVi X4 system really is. This product from OREI was engineered to make it really easy for you to create a software-defined version of most of the common AV products on the market. This product allows you to easily create a flexible and expandable AV over IP solution for distributing all of your media content to multiple remote locations at the same time over the same network. And because it's software defined, you can easily create relationships like an HDMI extension relationship where the same media is sent to a single location, or a matrix relationship where you can have multiple input streams sent to various locations at the same time. You can use it to create a video wall controller like I showed you today. You can even use it in a switch relationship where you can pivot between 2 different media streams sent to a single location. All of that is controlled through software on the Network Control Hub. The solution provides support for 4K ultra-high definition media content and is both HDMI 2.0b as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant, which means it's plug and play compatible with all of your modern media equipment. And finally, it utilizes the latest in power over Ethernet technology, which means if you're using a PoE capable switch, all the power required for the modules is sent over that single network connection, completely eliminating the need for a power supply at each location. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections, you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks again for watching.